Morning guys, up and at 'em Friday morning, out here doing it. And I just went up to the cross. There was a crossing up the top. I've talked about this before, but the crossing guards up there, they were both up there today. And they're out there in this heat. I mean, it's quite hot out here today. But the lady, I said thank you for doing what you're doing. And she was quite I think she was pleasantly surprised. I bet they don't get that said to them very often. And she goes, "Oh, thank you," and she started talking about how she's up there at like around 2:40 in the afternoon, which is when that current bun is at its eyes. 2 o'clock onwards, it starts hot, and she's there until 4 or something, I think she said. I'm like, wow. I'm like, I've worked out in the heat. It ain't an easy job. So all those guys that are out there in this heat, like you see these roofers too, and it's like, how on earth are you up on that black roof? Boy, oh boy. So hey, thank you if you're in any of those services where you're outside working in this heat. It's not an easy job. I've been out there doing that. It's not easy. But anyway, yeah, just by saying, and then as I was crossing the road, I said thank you to her, and then I was crossing over the road, and then there's a guy too on the other side, and he lives in my neighbourhood. I see him on the bike cycling up there, and he ain't been doing this. He's only just started this job because it was a different couple of people up there before. So he cycles up to his spot. Morning.
Morning.
He cycles up to his spot. And so I say hello to him in the mornings. And anyway, today I thought, I'm going to thank these people. So I thanked her. I got halfway across the road and I thanked him. I said, "Thanks for what you do, man." And he's like, "Oh, well, I really appreciate it. Thank you." Don't be looking down on people just because they do a certain job. If you're working in a big old office, a big leather chair, and you're in a nice big air-conditioned room, and you're doing all right, and blah, 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 and you're looking down on these people that are out there in the heat, maybe looking after your kids, what right does anybody have to judge and put somebody down like that? So be thankful and grateful for guys like these guys that are out there, doing that in the heat for our kids. So, and my kids all went to the schools around here, so they get to know the different people, but they swap and change. I know these guys are kind of newish that are up there now. But it's all the same. Everybody's doing the same job, whoever's up there. But I wanted to talk today about winning. I had things rolling around in my head, what to talk about. And I kept on tossing back and forth between different subjects. But I know there's a lot of people out there that feel that they're not winning. And by the way, you might see on the side of my head, and I don't think I got it now, but on the side of my head, I shaved my head yesterday. It was like Edward Scissorhands shaved it. But anyway, yeah, if you think you're not winning, you're already thinking in a negative area. Because even when it's getting really bad, when you're in those moments where those wobbles, and those heavy wobbles too, and like I say, I know there's quite a few people out there that are having those wobbles. And I've had some wobbles myself lately, me included. And some heavy wobbles too, nothing lightweight. Some heavy shit can come in. And hang on guys. Just another one of those Fridays. But anyway, that heavy shit can come in, yeah? And we can be in some right spots. Whether that be with our anxiety, depression, anything, you name it. It could be something that's happened where you might not even have any of that. Might be something that's happened in the family, complete stress, grief, pain. Look for the wins in every single situation. You know, when you wake up in the morning and your mind, I don't know about you, I know that some of mine comes on in the morning, I can open my eyes and it'll be early morning and your old mind starts going, yeah? And then you're waking up and going to sleep, waking up, going to sleep. And then you wake up that time round when it's probably a couple of hours before you're going to get up. And then you really can't go back to sleep because your mind's going, yeah? Well, you know the best thing to do, right, is get up. Don't stay in bed because now you're tossing and turning. You're not winning. Your mind is. Your mind's winning. If you just get up, even if it's like, you know, early morning and you just can't, what's the point in tossing and turning? You're better off getting up, reading, doing some reading, doing a little meditation. You know, if it's like early enough to where you can go out, just get out for a walk. I mean, it doesn't matter, does it, what time you go out for a walk? You can always go out for a walk anytime you want, but I'm talking about those times like, you know, 5 onwards or so. Get up, get your shoes on, get out, go out for a walk. Try and clear your head. Because I tell you, as soon as your feet hit the ground, you're winning. Yeah? You're winning. You could be really depressed. But if you manage to get up and you get in the shower when you really didn't want to and clean your teeth, you're winning. It's not winning as in scoring a goal for England. Mind you, that would be nice. That would be nice. scoring a try in rugby, that's me, because I'm not much of I like football, but I never really followed it too much. I played rugby, but it's not about that. It's not about having to achieve something massive to have a win. Everybody thinks that, hey, you get a pay raise. Yeah, it's a win. Of course it is. It's a win. But if you're missing all the wins to that, then the actual win part of it, you're missing. Because you're missing the real wins. Those wins where you're going forward. Those wins when you're moving. Those wins when you're choosing to move forward into the discomfort and do something. You're winning when you're moving towards your goals and there's all those little steps that you make. Even if that means picking up a book and reading it about a certain subject that you want to learn. That's a win. But those times when you're feeling really, really rough, you know, do something like I just did. Because I tell you what, guys, it picks you up. It really does. You may not think that would work, but it does. Because you're giving of service, you're giving of gratitude to someone else. Thank you. Thank you for what you're doing. It brings on a sense of euphoric feeling within yourself. And it also gives that person, the other person, something to look at and feel themselves, the emotion. It's sharing love, it's sharing a caring. Yeah? And when you can do that, when you're feeling a bit shit, go out there and start paying someone a compliment. See if it helps you feel better. Or do something for somebody. Buy the person behind you's coffee or something. Yeah? It doesn't mean you even have to, you know, spend money. What happens if you turn around and the person behind you is dressed nicely? Hey, I like your outfit, it looks really good. You know, we were walking down, there's this lake near us called Lake Eola. It's in downtown Orlando. And it's a huge lake. I actually know not a windsurfer, wakeboarder. I actually know a wakeboarder that actually jumped that fountain, ramped it, crazy. But you know, when you pay those compliments to people, and you share that love to somebody, and you pay someone a compliment, like someone's outfit, or like when we were down at Lake Eola. We were walking around there, and there was a lady. She had this really cool tattoo going down her arm. And my youngest daughter, she spoke up, because I teach my kids, hey, you know, you pay a compliment, makes you feel better. And she said, I really like your tattoo. And we didn't know she was with a whole bunch of other people too. And she goes, oh, thank you, it's fake. I'm like, what? It opened up a conversation. It opened up a communication with this lady. Because now, I couldn't believe that this was like a transfer. It looked real. I was actually admiring the artwork. I mean, I was, I don't know, even if we weren't that far away and it looked good. I don't know if you got right up on it, but, and we just started saying, oh wow, she's like, oh thank you, smiling. And we laughed and that a little bit and said hello, have a good one. I'll tell you what, you come away there with an energy boost. So just because you're feeling a little shit or a little down or something, right, something's going on, it doesn't mean you can't pay another person a compliment, pick up your energy and theirs. You're doing a win on both sides. So it's all about the little wins. It's all about the wins. Well, they're not even little if you think about it. A win's a win. There ain't no small, big. Well, there's big wins if you win the lottery. That's a big win. But even that, there's people that win that lottery, miserable. There's people that get married into a lot of money. They're miserable. They're not looking for the wins. Start looking for the wins in your day, guys. Because I tell you, there's a lot of that shit going on out there right now, where people are having what they believe, including myself, that the wins ain't there. And I know when I've had my wobbles this past couple of weeks, as bad as it could get, I look at it and start trying to learn, because even if you're learning a lesson from it, it's a win. And the way I look at it now is I ask the whys, and then I figure out how I'm getting through it, what I did to get through it, certain things I tell myself. Trust me guys, it can be a battle sometimes. I'm in therapy too, and I go see my therapist, and I had a session yesterday. It was a complete win, hard as hell. I was in tears and everything at times, but you do it, you get through it. Morning. You get through it. You're moving through, and moving through those sessions and moving through those talks and being present with the hurt, that's a win. Don't look at that as a fail. That's part of you being able to talk to somebody and show your emotion underneath something that might be going on traumatically, or something that's happened in the past where there's a trauma. That's a win. If you're bringing that up and being able to talk about it, don't walk away and go, oh, that was a really hard session. Yeah, it might have been. And if you do say that, follow it up with, but you know what? That was a massive win. Because that's what I said to my wife. How'd it go? I'm like, yeah, it was a tough one, but it's where I needed to be. That's what I told her. If it's tough, then I'm in the right spot. It doesn't mean that things are easy and that's the wins. Some things can be bloody hard as hell, but it's still a win. Those moments that you get through, those moments that you push through, those times when you're just wanting to just completely give up, and you stay with it and you see that little bit of light and you move and you work your way through like a maze, that's a win. But what do people do? They get through and they go, oh wow, that was horrible, that was tough, I don't know how I got through that. Of course you do. You persevered, you stuck with it, the warrior came out and you moved with that. That's where the wins are, guys. Things can get really rough. Things can get you. I get it. Anger, that's a big one of mine. Yeah? Anger. But even in the anger, even when I've been in rage, there's sometimes that spot which is happening a lot more now because I'm getting in tune with it way more. And there's those times where right in your head you're like, no, don't do that. That's a win. As bad as that rage can be, as bad as anger can be, if a thought comes in that's completely different and opposite from what will normally happen, which is go into the rage and just lose control, then that's a win. Even when I've been angry, like I say, if a thought comes in and says, don't go there, don't do that, walk away, move, winning. You're winning. You're winning for yourself, guys. So make the wins for yourself, yeah? Don't look at things and go, God, that was really bad. Yeah, things can be difficult. Things can be bad. It's hard. Don't get me wrong. Like I say, I've had some wobbles lately. But I'm still here. I'm still moving. I'm still looking. I'm still trying to learn. I keep asking why, what's this happening? And then I spread it out in front of my therapist, and I'm like, hey, this is what's happening. How do we work through this? Because, you know, even therapists have therapists, guys. Even therapists have therapists. So, you know, you work it out. You work it out. Put your hand out, talk to somebody, get some help. Have a look in my description below. I have a website out there. Go to my website, go and check that out. Give me a thumbs up and a like, please, if you can, because without you guys, I'm not getting the message out there. So the more this gets spread around, the better. And I tell you what, guys, keep going for those wins. Look at the wins in everything. Even the things that you think are really, really bad, there's always something that you can grab onto, or you move through it. That's a win. Just becoming present with it, or becoming aware of this emotion. A lot of people don't even become aware of emotion. They don't know what the emotions are. They think frustration is anger, and it's very close. They kind of go hand in hand. But frustration's a little different. It has a different meaning to it. You can either say I'm angry and it's got a aggression behind it, or you can say I'm frustrated. There's a completely different feeling to that, even when you say it to yourself. So just being in touch and aware of your emotions, guys, that's a win. Stay the course, guys. Namaste.